iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
Hey there, everybody, it's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. Very good weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed yours. I know I did well in daily golf. Got myself a couple more tickets to the Mega Eagle for the U.S. Open. Hopefully I can take that and cash in some big money so I can pay some bills because those little rotos cost me a fortune. Watched a little NBA. As I'm sure you guys did too. If you tell me the Rockets are beating the Warriors, I tell you need to call my office for an immediate appointment. But right now, I want to talk about fantasy baseball, and in particular, a Roto child. Paul Goldschmidt Roto. It has gotten to a point right now that, dare I say this, I traded my Roto child in my home league this weekend. I did. And I didn't want to do it because I've always believed the following. I think fantasy baseball is a lot easier than people think. It's very hard. It's a very hard sport, but it's easy in certain precepts. Buy low, sell high. Buy low, sell high. It's probably one of the top tenets of all fantasy sports. Get a guy when he's at his lowest point and trade him when he's at his highest point. Paul Goldschmidt Roto could not be any lower now. If he had a nickname, it would be Whale Turd. That's how low he is. The bottom of the sea. As of this moment, he's hitting 205. This is in 166 at bats, mind you. So let's just multiply that by 3. I think that's a fair number. That would give him 498. So 3.5. 166 times 3.5. That gives him about 581. That's where he's been over the last 3 years, give or take. So he's got 5 home runs. If I multiply that by 3.5, that gives him 17. He's got 13 RBIs. If I multiply that by 3.5, hello, that's not very high. We're talking about a guy who's going to get like 15 home runs and 60 RBIs if he continues in this pace. He's got 5 home runs, 13 RBIs, 27 runs scored, and 2 stolen bases. 2. Now, one of the things we love about Paul Goldschmidt Roto, look in the last 3 years. He's had 21 stolen bases, 32 and 18. He's got 2 this year. Well, if you're not going to hit, at least run. But you can't run if you're not on first base. Because the last 3 years he's hit 321, 297, and 297. He's not getting on first base. Slugging percentage down. Extra base hits way down. Everything is down. It's a disaster. It really has been a disaster. Now, if you can believe this, I'm in an NFBC league, and my first 2 picks were Paul Goldschmidt and Joey Votto, and we're winning the league. My partner and I are winning the league by 5 points. Could you imagine if we had the real Goldschmidt and Votto? We'd be winning the league by 27 points. Goldschmidt is single-handedly killing me in leagues. Do I want to blame the humidor, but A.J. Pollock is hitting the ball. Daniel Descalso is hitting the ball. He's got more RBIs than Goldschmidt. Now, is it possible that pitchers are not pitching to Goldschmidt? Maybe. I'm willing to buy that. Especially now with A.J. Pollock now in the lineup. Would you pitch to Goldschmidt? You probably wouldn't. Jake Lamb is back. That helps. Sousa's back. That helps. When Pollock comes back, the lineup will be much better. But I mean, losing Lamb and Sousa was bad. I mean, you're losing all the power in the middle lineup. 5, 6, 7. You had nobody there. So, buy low, sell high. Should you buy low on Goldschmidt? It's risky. I would say I would, because I believe in a player's talent. I don't see an injury. Maybe I'm missing something, but I don't see an injury. Haven't heard of a wrist issue. Haven't heard of a problem. Right now, this seems to be mental. And I think when Paul Goldschmidt gets into a hot streak, he will stay hot. Now, the problem is this. Is he going to hit you 35 home runs and 120 RBIs this season? No. You've got to adjust your expectations. So my question to you is this. Moving forward, in the next 400 at-bats, which is probably what he has left in him, about 400 at-bats, what do I think he's going to do? How many home runs will he get? How many RBIs will he get? And I've got to judge it. So let's look up Goldschmidt right now. So at 400 more at-bats, I would think that he should get about another 20 home runs and 60 RBIs. 20 home runs and 60 RBIs. I'm going to write those numbers down so I don't forget them. 20, 60, maybe 10 stolen bases. That's what I'm looking at. That's a good player. I'm willing to buy into that player. But that's being very aggressive. I think 20 home runs, 60 RBIs, and 10 stolen bases, I'd be really happy if I got that from Goldschmidt. So the question is this. What do you have to give up to get Goldschmidt? Paul Goldschmidt's owner is going to want a lot because he paid a lot. He was a first-round pick. So you can't give him bad players. He's not going to make the trade. But at the same time, you don't want to give too good a player because if you do and Goldschmidt doesn't come around, you made a bad trade. So it's very hard. This is actually very hard to figure out what to do. What's too much? You know, I heard on the radio today that somebody said they offered Paul Goldschmidt for Anthony Rizzo. I think it was Jim Bowden who said that. I wouldn't trade you Rizzo for Goldschmidt. I'd rather keep Rizzo. One of my followers asked me, should he trade Brandon Belt for Goldschmidt? I don't know about that. Brandon Belt's having a really good year. Got 11 home runs, hitting .313. I think their numbers by the end of the year are similar. I don't know if I'd do that. But that makes sense. Belt for Goldschmidt makes sense. Buy low, sell high. I'm selling Belt at a high, hitting .313 with 11 home runs and about 30 RBIs. I'm selling him. I'm getting Goldschmidt. Well, that's a good trade. That's a good trade. Question is, how much do I trust Goldschmidt? And can Brandon Belt be better than what he's shown me? I think he can be. I think that trade's going to be an even trade. Because I think Belt can do what Goldschmidt can do the second half. So it's very hard. I would look for a player who's overperforming, who really is overperforming way more than I ever anticipated. Now, I'm not talking about Ozzy Albies. That guy's overperforming, but I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about a guy who I just didn't think would ever give me what he's giving me. So let's see here. Mitch Haniger. Would I move Mitch Haniger for Paul Goldschmidt? Maybe. I like Mitch Haniger, but he's playing really well right now. Right? I'd probably move him in a heartbeat. Would I move Odubel Herrera for him? Yes. Odubel Herrera's hitting .344. That number's not staying there. I think Herrera has a cold spell at some point. I would trade him. But you see where I'm going with that? Guys like Haniger and Herrera are selling high. I like them, but I'm selling high. I move Haniger, get Goldschmidt, and I get a hot Goldschmidt, I made a good deal. But right now, it's very dicey. It's very dicey. And I feel badly because, like I said, I'm an unabashed Paul. He's a Roto child. That's how much I like this guy. I'm just very concerned. And like I said, do I know what's happening in his personal life? No. Could he be going through a breakup with his girlfriend or wife or, I don't know, a fight? Maybe. Is the humidor a problem? Maybe. Is he putting too much pressure on himself to get a hit? I'm sure. I'm sure he is. But right now, he's killing me. But another tenet in fantasy sports is be patient. Do you want to be the guy who trades Paul Goldschmidt for less than his value and then Goldschmidt gets hot and then you get nothing out of him? I almost rather hold Goldschmidt and see what he can do for me than trade him for less than his value. So I'll do it this way. I have $1. Would I take 60 cents for that dollar? If you say, hey, I'll give you 60 cents for your dollar, would you do it? No. But if I could get 90 cents, I might. If I could get 90 cents for Paul Goldschmidt, I might do it. But I'm not taking 60. I'm not taking a low ball offer. Not doing it. Right? Because then, what are you getting out of it? 60 cents and 60% of it's Paul Goldschmidt is not worth it. I'll take 90. I'm willing to lose 10% in this deal to get rid of him. I am. But I'm not willing to lose 40 because that could come back to bite me. So if you're going to move Goldschmidt, which I'm okay with, be smart about it. Don't give him away. Can't give him away. And you're not going to get too much. You might be better off holding him or trading him, but don't trade him for a guy who's too high. Right? Don't trade him for a guy who's overperforming. Because when you get the guy who's overperforming, they're going to stop performing. You trade him for Odubel Herrera. You say to yourself, I got Odubel Herrera. Odubel Herrera's hitting 344. He's not going to hit 344 for the year. He's going to hit 300 for the year, which means he's going to hit 260 for the next couple of months. Now you have Odubel Herrera hitting 260 on your team. You could have had Paul Goldschmidt. Buy low, sell high. Buy guys low. Sell them when they're high. A smart owner sells Herrera for Goldschmidt. The guy who loses sells Goldschmidt for Herrera. That's what I think. I could be wrong. I just don't think I'm wrong in this situation because I think this player's too good. Paul Goldschmidt's too good. And if I'm going to lose, which, trust me, I don't want to lose. Anyone who knows me knows you show me a good loser, I show you a loser. I hate losing. But if I'm going to lose, let me lose with the best players on my team. Let me lose with Paul Goldschmidt and Joey Votto. If I don't win my NFBC league team, I won't be upset that I drafted Goldschmidt and Votto. I'll be upset that they didn't play well, but I won't be upset that I drafted them because I thought they were good players coming into this year. I can't control what they do, but I can control what I thought they would do. I thought they'd be great. You want great? Join ScoutFantasySports.com. You'll find greatness there. Sean Childs, great fantasy player. Adam Ronis, great fantasy player. I know what I'm doing once in a while. Check out ScoutDFS.com for the best in daily fantasy sports. And of course, go to PlayFFWC for the best fantasy football contest anywhere, by far. But right now it's time to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. I'm watching Paul Goldschmidt closely. I hope you are too. If you have him, I hope he starts hitting because I can't watch this anymore. This is Dr. Roto saying be well and take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit scoutfantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!